Order, if you would stand for prayer. Let's bow our heads, please. Most gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for this beautiful day and the opportunity that we have to come out and gather together as Rotarians and learn more about Louisville and the Louisville Fire Department today. We ask that you would bless this food and that you would also help us all to kind of remember what happened a few years ago on 9/11 and to be vigilant for what happens in our community. We ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. You pledge allegiance, please.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The four-way test. Is it the truth? Is it
Fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Happy dollars? Anybody? I do. Somebody got married? Somebody just proposed.
I have a happy dollar. Just to remind everybody, second Friday is Friday night. There's a home football game. There's second Friday. It's first responders night at the football field. And my granddaughter is getting married. So, but I think everything is taken care of. I'll be there part of the night now. The only thing I was a little bit concerned about was we got the little roaming railroad, and it's sponsored by Henderson Roofing, and he will be there. So, and Jared will be there, and Andy will be there forever, and Jim.
We'll need a volunteer for that.
Jared said he would.
Jared's
I'll
gonna
yeah.
be the muscle guy.
Thank you.
Yeah, we won't come up into Main Street, because there's no farmer's market, St. Louis parking lot will be open, they can just walk around down there, so
Great.
everything will be fine. It'll be a great night, we have a wonderful band, big crowd.
Thank you. Greg?
Okay, just a reminder, tonight, if you don't have dinner plans, Texas Roadhouse is running a fundraiser for Louisville football through the Touchdown Club. A percentage of what they make comes back to the club, 3 o'clock to 10 o'clock.
Which Texas Roadhouse?
Alliance.
Alliance,
Just
okay.
tell them, your server, that you're with Louisville football, and they'll mark it.
Good. Our first mail for our new P.O. box says, thank you for providing and maintaining the splash pad. I'm not sure we maintained it, but that's okay. It is my grandkids' favorite place. The kids have made some new friends, and I met a few grandparents who are also raising their grandchildren. And it's signed by, I think, Sharon Allgood. Hard to read. This writing is almost as bad as mine, but not really quite. Any other happy dollars? Yes.
It's just good to be back. I went to visit my dad in California. He's a veteran, and he's 94, and just wanted to go see him as much as possible. But it's good to see you all again. And I have one more that last night they had the community awards event for Best of the Best, and Brad's Carpet Cleaning got winner.
Yay! Congratulations. Anybody else?
We took the exchange students from the area to Niagara Falls on Sunday. It was the first trip that we made with them to Niagara Falls. It's going along with Washington and New York, and kids had a great time. It's a one-day trip, and it's really cool to see their faces of, first time you see Niagara Falls. It was really impressive to see them. Everybody had a good time.
Thank you. And our songmeister is not here today. Stepping in for the songmeister is Mr. Jim Edwards. I can see you.
Mark, we're coming back from the football game the other night. Mark says, Jim, what can I sing? I lead in a song on Wednesday, and then I picked out what's it called? Mrs. O'Leary's cow. One dark night when we were all in bed. All right, Chicago fire. When was it? Rod, do you know? When was the Chicago fire?
Come on, Chief.
Well,
I don't know, but I heard it was a hot time.
there was one we could have sung, all right, today, because it's September 11th. That would be Lee Greenwood's Proud to Be an American, all right? And I didn't even think about it at the time coming home from the football
The
game.
Chicago fire was October 8th, 1871.
Just pulled it
Really?
out.
Really?
Some of us had
I'm
that.
just, no,
Ron will remember that now.
1871.
Okay, everybody got their little music thing in front of them?
All right, ready?
Wait a minute, Rod's not here.
I know it.
All right, everybody ready? All right, wait a minute, do we want to sing it in round?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Sing it one time and then louder. and then
Okay,
louder.
wait a minute, one time and then louder on the second one. All right, let's go! Late one night when we were all in bed, old Mother Larry took a lantern to the shed. When the cow kicked it over, she winked her eye and said, there'll be a hot time in the old town tonight. Fire, 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 come on! One more! All right, let's get it right and loud. You guys are not joining me. Come on. All right, we can do it without the music. Acapella. All right, acapella.
Encore.
All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Late one night when we were all in bed, old Mother Mary took the lantern to the shed. When the cow kicked it over, she winked her eye and said, there'll be a hot time in the old town tonight. Fire, fire, fire!
Thank you.
No rest.
Probably the mornings because they didn't say anything after.
We're going to save the introduction of our guests until Mr. Bordner speaks. I'll let him introduce his guests. Joni Aljancic has graciously agreed to do a Rotary moment. Joni, the floor is yours.
I said, I wrote down, just sat down, why I joined Rotary, things like that. When I retired, being the best job in the whole wide world, elementary phys ed, for umpteen years, Greg Parrish would invite me every week to come hear the speakers because Rotary has such awesome speakers. I think about a year or two later, he told me I couldn't come just to listen to the speakers. I had to join. So because of Greg Parrish, I decided to join. And I loved your motto, service above self, because that's how I was raised. I met here at Klebeck and Aljancic. It was always service above self and think of the other people and what we could do. And we just did it. It was second nature, so that's why I joined Rotary. I remember Kenny Bob Smith being at McDonald's and stuff like that. He would try to get me and my husband to join back in the day. Rusty Bolden. He would see me at basketball games and say, when are you going to join? And then when I was 6, and I loved working in Rotary. I loved Barb when she leads the warm coats at the YMCA. That's just a wonderful time when the kids are coming in and picking out their hats, their mittens. The girls are being all like organized and make sure everything matches. The boys just use that hat, that coat. Nothing matches. They just pick what they want. So, I mean, that's so much fun for me. When I did flags with Bob Collier, the people that I originally did it with, we did it in an hour and a half. Takes Bob and I like 3 hours because we can't find those holes. But we enjoy it. And then naturally after 3 hours they decided it was time to give us a different route.
We didn't quit though.
No, we never quit. And we would search. Our hands would be so, I can't swear, but I'd be so full of mud from going down deep to find And Jared and I had so much fun when we cleaned up the trail. We had the best route ever. We were down in the woods, down in the...
We were in the briars. We were bleeding. You
We
were.
were bleeding from the thistle, and we couldn't believe how many, was it on Meese or what is it?
Yeah, it's on going to Georgetown on Pineville.
It's like the end of the whole trail for, at Metzger Park. How many beer cans that we were finding from the teenagers and things like that. But he and I built, how many it's joy on Friday nights, seeing all the people that come from all over the county, just to watch the bands or participate. It's just so much fun, and I think Glenn at the end, like, we stay at the end and we're cleaning up and things like that. It's just really, really neat. And then we're talking, like, the one night we left at midnight, because we talked so much, but it was good. So, being with the community, being with the vendors, the young people that are getting involved. When we had that Sydney and Chloe helping us redoing the flags the other time, and then seeing our ambassador program, and seeing the kids that are coming for the people, the exchange students and things that are going on at the high school. It just brings so much joy and, you know, happiness in the community. I like seeing that we're all getting along together. And that's why I like Rotary this time.
Thank you. All right. We're going to do our Rotoball drawing. I'm going to try not to spill this. Would you mind grabbing a ticket out of here, please? Welcome home, Eva. Your first big match.
Yes, do the scarecrow now.
Make them stand on the floor.
He has to wash all the windows anyway, so.
Thank you for doing that. All right, got quite a few announcements that we're going to kind of buzz through, or reminders. Next Wednesday, there is no noon meeting. Next Wednesday, there is no noon meeting. Constitution Banquet, next Wednesday night at 6:30 at the Eagles. How many people have bought tickets? Anybody still need to buy tickets? You better get them quick. We've been promised that we'll have tables to sit together as a Rotary group if we want to. So, again, next Wednesday, 6:30, it's at the Eagles. Scarecrows on Parade. I just heard somebody talk about that. If anyone is interested in participating in the Scarecrows on Parade program, it starts September 28th, runs through November 2nd. If you're interested, see me. Just let me know and we'll work something out. Our community grant application program starts September 15th and is open until October 15th. Please help us get the word out, whether it's to schools or businesses or whoever or whatever. We don't have the Herald like we used to advertise a lot of this type of thing, so please let people know that the grant application program is open, what's that, 4 days from now? Kindness Day, next Friday, September 20th at our flag barn. I think we've already got this set up and Barb's got her hand up.
We've got another thing to do, and it's okay if it's just me. So, one of the teachers at the high school is going to do a trail cleanup for their little groups. Metzger Park, like, kind of help us out with that. And so I'm going to meet them there, but we could use more chaperones, kind of thing. Like, we're going to send the kids out in groups, just like when we do the trail. So we need to have adults with them. If not, I'll get it covered. But if anyone would like to join me, where I'm supervising kids cleaning up Metzger that same day, it's the Kindness Day, September 20th. So that morning. Just let me know. Shoot me a text. Yep.
What time is it?
I believe they're starting at 9 a.m.
Okay, 9 a.m.?
Yep.
Okay, good. All right, so back to the flag barn, Kindness Day, next Friday, September 20th. About 9:50, be there probably 9:45 or so. Goes to 11 o'clock. We'll have, I don't know, 15, 20 middle school kids coming over like we did last year. Help them. They can help us put together some flags and things. Maybe they can help us sell some flags. Maybe we can have some of those little sheets so they can take a couple of those home and get some people to sign up for some more flags. That would be a good thing. So be ready for that. In 2 weeks from today, we will have our next meeting here. So not next week, but in 2 weeks. It will be an evening meeting at 5:30. Our speaker will be District Governess Elaine Bozak. She will be our speaker, and that will be Louisville Rotary's 99th anniversary date and year. So please, if you can make it next Wednesday, or I'm sorry, in 2 weeks, Wednesday, at 5:30, that would be great. We certainly want a good turnout for the district, is it governess or governor? What's that? Yeah, if you want to, if you've got an anniversary shirt and you want to wear it, you know, maybe we can get a picture or something after we get done with Elaine and so on. I'm sure she'll have a good message. She's a really good speaker, and I think we'll all enjoy having her here.
5:30?
5:30.
Okay.
Yes, 5:30. Second Friday, Cynthia already talked about it. If you can be there to help, please be there. I think around 3 o'clock we start making things happen, something like that. We need to get the tables out into the street, and then also, more importantly, get the tables picked up out of the street and put away. We will not have a football team helping us this Friday, so we need to have some extra horsepower. Yes?
I believe we will have some key club / dinner accidents,
Cool.
but
Good.
I haven't gotten the list yet.
Okay, that's great. Sunday, the 22nd, is the Louisville Constitution Parade, and our parade meister, I think you want to say a word or two, Brock?
So I'll be, as you leave today, guilding you into helping with the parade. We need people to walk in the parade, help set up the route the night before, and then also help people get in place on the day of. So if you're available Saturday or Sunday, talk to me and I'll get you signed up and give you the hours and all that. So I'll do that as we're leaving today.
Good, thank you. Next Wednesday will be the beginning of the online auction for the Metzger Park Amphitheater naming rights. It will be through Kiko and Associates. At the bottom of your piece of paper, there is a website. If you want to direct anybody to the website, you want to look it up on there, you can do that. It's going to end on Wednesday, September 25th at 6 o'clock. And I'm hoping that if things work out right, we'll know the winner and so on during our evening meeting that same night. So we're trying to get that all worked together with George Kiko. If you know of someone who would be interested in participating in the online auction, and they would like us to come out and personally talk to them about the amphitheater and the naming rights and all the details, both Mr. Jim Dutter and I are both available. We're available just about any time. We're trying to make Wednesday afternoons open for appointments to make those kinds of calls, but it can be in the evening. I don't care. If it's somebody that wants to bid on the amphitheater, we will be more than happy to go talk to them, bring the renderings so they can see it, and help them with the auction if they have any questions or any issues. Anything else? Anybody else have anything?
Is there an opening bid on that?
Minimum bid is $25,000.
Okay.
Minimum bid, yes. So, I see Rod over here just raised his hand. He's going to be the first guy to bid. Thank you. Speaking of Mr. Bordner, would you like to introduce your two, or actually Glenn, why don't you go ahead? Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. I'm going to introduce your speaker. I got a story to tell you about him before.
Uh-oh.
Just remember, this
I know
is
it's being
being
recorded.
videoed. Be careful.
Just so you know your fire chief a little better.
Oh boy.
I met Rod, many of you know, I was a fireman up in the Akron area. And during my time on the service, I served on the aluminum cans for burned children aboard the Akron Children's Hospital. And I was in office, the vice president or president at the time, I don't even know which one it was, but every year we have a burn camp for kids at the Rotary camp in New Franklin. And these kids come from all over the Northeast Ohio. They've been victims of burns, psychological issues, physical issues, everything. Well, they told me, hey, we've got this group that wants to pay for camp. It's like, perfect. Who are they? He says, well, they're a motorcycle club. I'm like, okay. He says, it's wind and fire. They're retired firemen, right? Only firemen.
It's firemen that ride Harleys.
Firemen that ride Harleys. Now, these guys showed up at a meeting, and I'm not kidding you, they come out with the black boots, jeans, black vest, you know, their logo and colors and stuff. And I'm like, man, these guys are kind of scary looking. Well, Your brother was actually the president of the chapter at the time. And your brother handed me a check for $15,000. It had a poker run, and all that money goes to the burn camp. And they told me, we want to own burn camp because we want to do something special. So as far as service above self, that's where they started a bit. It was cool when they come to camp on Thursday night. Every night at camp, they would come in, and you'd hear them coming from a mile away with the motorcycles. Well, they pull in, the kids would cheer. There are these kids that, you know, are in a shell because they're missing hands and fingers and disfigured, jumping on their motorcycles, and these guys, and you look at these big burly guys, and every one of them had tears in their eyes. This is the kind of fire chief you have. He is, you know, firemen in general are service above self. But Rod has set an example of this back when he was a volunteer fireman back in the 80s. So this is the fire chief you got. You've done well for yourself as far as Louisville goes. Rod, I don't really know your guys, but
Thanks for having me, I appreciate it. I did have the crews come up today. Two of them right now are on a call. Lieutenant Logan Hinkle and Dave Phillips. They're on an EMS run right now, but I got Dylan Pianowski here and Pete Overacker. They're our second crew, so they'll be here today unless they get a call. I was asked to come up and speak about the fire department, give you a little history and background of the fire department and where we're going, where we're heading. As you've heard, we are building a new fire station. We just broke ground on that, had a groundbreaking ceremony on Friday. Went very, very well. We're all excited for it. Hammond Construction's lead on it, and they're telling us a 1-year build. So hopefully within 1 year we'll be moving out of our current location and getting into something much, much larger than what we have now. I'm going to move this before I knock it off. I did bring with me some drawings of the exterior, front and back of the building, and then also the inside layout. If anybody would like to take a look at that, they're more than welcome to. I'm going to start out with a little bit of history of the fire department. Back when it first started, how it started, and what happened. So back in 1857, there was a volunteer department that was made up of 60 volunteer firefighters. They were called the Blue Company. Now this was before Louisville actually recognized the fire department. A couple years into that, there were some disagreements among members, being that large of a group, so some of them broke off, and they started their own fire company called the Red Company. So now we have the Blue Company, and we have the Red Company. It is believed that the company was dissolved a few years later, back in 1873, which is when Louisville finally recognized that there was a Louisville City Fire Department. So, on our patches that are on the building of the trucks, that's where we get Louisville Fire of 1873. That's when council reorganized it, and they had anywhere from 25 to 30 members. 1873, they also purchased their first hook and ladder pulled fire truck or fire engine, whatever you want to call it. It was pulled by horses, and it cost $50. They bought that from Canton City, 1873. 1875, they officially named it Louisville Fire Department number 1. And then in 1880, they finally was able to purchase rubber coats and boots. So they didn't have any protective gear like we have today, but back then all it was rubber coats, rubber boots, and their helmets is what they had. 1884, the council had 6 public cisterns built, and to date we only know where 3 were located. We don't know where the other 3 are at. So one of them actually was found when they did the Taco Bell. It was right in front of Taco Bell on Main Street there. May 21st, 1985, if I'm saying this correctly, Essig and Jacob Planing Mill, which was down by the railroad tracks. That was a very large fire, destroyed the building, and never was rebuilt after that. Louisville at the time had a 4-man hand pump to do that, and then the cistern went dry. They called Canton City. Canton City brought out a steam engine, horse-drawn steam engine, and they assisted in the fire. They had to borrow 4 horses to take their steam engine back to Canton, because their horses were exhausted. So they took 4 horses from Louisville to get their engine back. In 1894, there were water lines. The council passed a levy to do water lines. They drilled hydrants. 32 hydrants were installed, and a water tower was built at a capacity of 150,000 gallons. That seems like a lot, but it's not very much, only 150,000 gallons. It was removed in 1935 and replaced with the current one, which is at North Marion Street right now. And that is, I believe, 850,000 gallon water tower. Around 1903, council passed an ordinance that paid 50 cents to each member for a meeting and 50 cents for each fire call. Luckily, our wages have gone up since then. 1908, council increased the pay to the fire chief. Fire chief got $1.50 for every training and 75 cents per hour for every call. The members received $1 for training and 50 cents for every hour of the call they were on. It's ironic that in 1914 to 1926, Homer Bordner, who is no relation to me, was the fire chief for the city of Louisville. I didn't know that until I started doing this program a long time ago. I put this together and I found out. I did do some background, but not really related. We can't find any relation here. So. But he was the person that purchased the first motorized fire engine, which was an old Oldsmobile with some soda acid water cans on it. In 1926, Pat Shoemaker, which some of you may have heard the name, was named fire chief, and at that time he was a teenager. 1930, the city purchased its first real fire engine, which was an Aaron's Fox. It was stored in a barn down at the Lawrence Wiggins house that caught fire in 1960 and burned up the fire engine. And it never got replaced. Wish we had that today. 1937, the fire department purchased a Dodge chassis. The members built the body for it. It was kept in a non-heated barn, and it was not filled with water because it would freeze. So before they got calls, they'd have to fill the truck with water before they went on the call. 1948, the city purchased a Sutphen 500-gallon per minute pump. 1968, Chief Shoemaker retired, and William Klein became the fire chief. 1970, the department conformed to the start of the civil service, where all members were under the civil service. At the time, they had 1 chief, 1 assistant chief, 4 captains, 27 firefighters, 3 engines, and they actually had a fire tanker, which was 3,000 gallons. In 1975, Louisville started their EMS service and purchased their first ambulance. 1978, they purchased a second ambulance. These were all used ambulances. 1 come from another city, 1 actually come from the Akron-Canton Airport. After Chief Klein, there was Chief Lane Kerstetter, then Chief Denny Myers, Chief John Fetty, Chief Kevin Lanzer, and then I come in 2014 and replaced Kevin Lanzer. I myself have been with the Louisville Fire Department 38 years, and I've been chief almost 10 years now. We currently have 25 members, and we staff 4 of them around the clock, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We're all either EMTs or paramedics. The difference being paramedics, they can do the heart drugs and the monitors and all that stuff. And we have at least 1 paramedic on every call. We run a 2-man crew on EMS calls. If they need help, they'll either get help from the other crew. If they're not available, we will call mutual aid, which usually is either Nimichon Township or Austin. So we work quite well. Some run statistics. 1998, we averaged 738 runs that year. 2023, we had 1,846 runs. So our run volume is continually going up every year. We're getting busy for the size of the city that we are. We're extremely busy. Right now, currently, we have 3 ambulances. We have 2 fire engines. 1 is a first respond engine for structure fires. The other one is set up as a rescue engine, which houses all of our rescue tools for auto accidents. We have a fairly new 2015 95-foot platform aerial ladder. We have a utility pickup truck and a chief's car. The building we're in now was built in 1964, and then it was housed with City Hall, the police department, and the fire department. All was in that building. A number of years ago, the police department moved out, got their own building out in the west end of town. It was remodeled where the fire department took over that area. Worked out well for us. We were staffing 2 people at the time. We had 2 bedrooms. Starting this year, we started staffing 4 people overnight, and now we're out of room. We actually got them sleeping in the hallways, which is not good. But we now are in the right direction, thanks to Dr. Larry Collins, who was the past city manager, and Mr. Turowski for his effortless work to help us get this new fire station going. We're building a brand new fire station. This new fire station is going to be around 16,000 square feet. It's going to have 7 fire bays, which you'll see in the pictures. It'll have 4 dedicated sleeping rooms. The other area right beside it where there's lockers, it'll be pre-built, ready to put up 1 wall. So in the future, if they ever decide to have 6 people or 5 people stay, they'll have their own sleeping quarters, because we do have men and women on the department. Like I said, we run medic calls, we run fire calls, we run rescue calls, we do lockouts, we do a lot of community service, also all types of things. We work very well with Nimish-Home Township. We got a new fire chief, Chief Adam Gladys. We work well with them. We work well with Chief Parker, Amy Parker of Osnaburg. We all get along very well, which is nice. We need that in the community. So, other than that, that's all I have, unless somebody would have some questions. Yes.
What is the most common fire call?
Fire call?
Yeah.
Usually electrical of some sort in a kitchen.
Kitchen fire?
Yeah. Yeah, Louisville itself really doesn't have many fires inside the city. Now this year alone, we've had 6 already. Some of them are pretty good. But we don't usually have too many fires inside the city. We do a lot of mutual aid for fires. Camp Townships, our ladder trucks, mutual aid for that first stuff. Yes.
Who's handling the 911 calls? I mean, are we gonna be, I read something this week about a move.
Right now, Stark County Sheriff handles the 911 calls. That's the answering point. And
Where?
The Stark County Sheriff.
At the sheriff's office?
Yeah, they answer the 911, and then they'll transfer it over to a place called CENTCOM, which is up at Nimish-Home Township Station 3.
That's okay.
That, we just got word that they are closing. So they gave us 60-day notice that they are closing, that we need to find another dispatch center. So I've been out looking, talking to all the dispatch centers. I've met with one yesterday, I meet with one today right after this, and I meet with another one on Tuesday. So we're gonna do our homework, our due diligence, see what we can do, see what we can get for our money, and we'll have to change, we'll have to move, because they are closing.
How many volunteers do you have right now?
I'm the only full-time person. Everybody else is considered part-time. We don't really have what's called a volunteer. There is schedules that are put out a month prior. So like right now, we just had October schedule put out. So everybody is working, these guys will work 48 hours in a week. They'll work 2 24-hour shifts. So they'll work 48 hours a week, but everybody's still considered part-time. But they are a union, so they have their own union. Any other questions? Well,
Wait a minute.
Yep, that's good.
I'd like to know how the relationship is between the Louisville Fire Department and Nimish-Home Fire Department. Is there ever a chance that we will be consolidating into your nice new fire station?
I don't know about consolidation. That's above my pay grade on that. But as far as getting along with each other and doing runs and training together, phenomenal. Especially with our new chief, Adam Gladys. And I know him personally. We get along great outside of work and during work hours. So we've had plenty of meetings already. We're going to train together on Tuesday nights. We train on Tuesdays. We're going to start doing training together. We're reorganizing our what we call box alarms. So if we get a call here, we need help. Who do we call next? That's all set up in dispatch, so when all we call dispatch said, hey, you know, fill our first box, they know exactly who to call. We don't have to tell them who to call. So it doesn't take away from us trying to operate on a fire scene. So we've been going back and forth about changing things up and working more with each other. So it's a great working relationship so far.
Thank you.
And I foresee it continuing on with that. Yes.
Our Rotary Club is promoting, we're gonna have a speaker for fentanyl overdose. And do you know, Michael?
First hand of that.
Yeah, so your guys are trained on
Yeah.
on that,
Oh, yeah.
and our Rotary Club wants to promote it through the Rotary clubs so that they can get more people trained, so that everybody has one of those with them.
Okay.
So we're going to have a speaker about that, and
Okay.
you're definitely invited to come. Just it's going to help the whole city be involved in it, and they want to get a certain percentage of people that know how to do it that they could save lives.
Okay. Yeah, just let me know and I can get you. I'll probably have one of our medics do it, speak about it, and we'll go that way. So, but if whenever you want to do it or need help with it, just let me know.
I think Bordner knows about that from the.
Yeah, we still did, we haven't, they
That's
haven't
us,
get back out.
Get a second call.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
The Narcan, the California Health Department provides it to both, to the police and the fire has it. So in most communities, to include ours, in an overdose environment, whether it's the police or the fire that get there first, there's access to Narcan to attempt to reverse the overdose.
And they have something called Samaritan, where you wouldn't get sued if you tried to resuscitate.
Yeah, so the Good Samaritan law, it really, we are already protected by a thing called qualified immunity. But yeah, the Good Samaritan law does protect a non-government person in circumstances like that from getting sued if they, in the unlikely event they would do more harm than good in trying to save somebody. But Narcan itself, the substance is benign. You could put 10 shots up your nose now and it wouldn't hurt you. Its impact is just to, your brain has opiate receptors, but the receptor has more of an affinity for the naloxone or the Narcan molecule than it does the opiate molecule. So when you get the Narcan into the system, it essentially takes the opiate off the receptor and takes the person into almost immediate withdrawal in a sense.
Have you had those in Louisville?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Is it decreasing there?
It comes and goes. You'll have a rash of them, and then you won't have them for a while, and then it just comes and goes.
How many overdoses a month are you treating? Just estimate.
It's like we haven't had one here for quite a while, for about a month or two. So I couldn't really tell you on a monthly basis. I'd have to go back and look at the runs, but you know we have a few over the years. Yeah.
Do you publish an annual report about what your statistics are at a place? Or?
We have an annual report that the fire department puts out at the end of the year, but we don't publish anything in the paper.
Okay.
You know, we got to watch HIPAA violations on EMS calls.
You used to have in the Herald a list of different calls, like all the calls that were called in, domestic, whatever.
Well, that's police used to do
Oh,
that.
that's the
Yeah.
police, okay.
Yeah. Fire's never done that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Anything else? Thank you for being here today. Oops, I'm sorry.
Well, I just wanted to add, the Y is gonna have Narcan. We're getting Narcan with our AEDs and everything, so we'll have it on site.
Anybody can get it, can carry it.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You'll have to go through the
Our
training
risk
though,
person is
because
getting it.
the training is.
Yeah, I've been trained.
Things to be watch out for.
Yeah, our first aid trains for that, and all of our staff have
Thank you.
first aid. Yeah.
If anybody wants to come down and tour the current station, so you know what it looks like, you're welcome to. We might have to walk sideways a little bit, but we can get through it. That way you have an idea of what we're in, what we're going to.
Yeah. What about the defibrillators? Like,
Yeah, the
you have one in
AEDs.
the Y now?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
We have
that's
our
good.
own pets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do people get trained trained on that?
Yep.
And like, how do you,
All of our staff has CPR and AED and first aid, so they're trained on how to use that, and perform CPR and, use the Narcan. All of our staff, I mean, it's our goal to have every staff in the building be trained. I'm very, like, on tune with it. It's a small staff on a weekend, I always make sure I have one person there that has CPR.
Come on,
You played football, didn't you?
Joni, you have a question?
It's like at the old TSC where the fire station's gonna be built, you have that really nice fence that's all the way around all four sides now. Like last night, when I was on my way out to the Constitution Center for the meeting, the two doors were open. Are they gonna be locked at night, or are they?
That's Hammond, and I'm assuming they would have those closed at night.
Cause I was gonna go in and take a picture of the
They
fire
were open this
station,
morning.
cause it's huge and it's gorgeous. But I didn't wanna, especially the councilman trespass.
Yeah, they'd probably arrest you.
You get arrested, yeah, you should be a call.
I got you my phone.
You got attack dogs?
Any other questions?
They were open this morning, Jen.
Thank you
When I
very
went
much.
out. When I drove up, I'm like,
Couple things before we get out of here. I want to thank Glenn for getting Mr. Bordner and the folks to come in and talk to us today. Our speaker group this last quarter was Glenn, it was Eva, and it was Brock, and Greg kind of chairs that group. So thank you for the last 3 months of getting us some real good quality speakers. If anyone is interested in being on the speaker committee for October, November, and December, we would love to hear from you. Otherwise, we will find you. Talk to either myself or Mr. Greg Anderson, and we'll try to get something going there, okay? Thank you. Eva, welcome home. Don't lose your marbles over this. Somebody already did that one time. Too bad. Lives for another week. Anything else? Again, no meeting next Wednesday at noon. And have a good rest of the week. Thank you.